Hello and welcome back to New to Guitars. Today we're going to be looking at a gorgeous Jackson Pro Series Monarch. This is a 2016 model, so I've had this for nearly 10 years. In fact, I got it for my 30th when it first came out, and when I saw it I just knew that I had to have it. Mainly because you've got that sort of single cut design, but also you have this absolutely gorgeous purple burst on a quilt maple top, and purple guitars are the best kind of guitars, really. I wanted something a little bit different of what I already had several Strat shapes, had an SG, so I wanted something a little bit more modern in a Les Paul LP styling, and I just knew this was the one for me. Absolutely phenomenal guitar. As I said, I've had this for 10 years. I've recorded with this, I played gigs with this, and there's been a couple of modifications along the way. So initially we have this neck through design, mahogany body. I think it's actually a mahogany neck as well. Got the 3x3 headstock, again my favourite Jackson headstock, hot take, really love these. I have replaced the locking tuners. The ones that they came with I couldn't really get on with. You had to kind of lock them in the top, and yeah, it's just a pain. So these have got the Schaller M6, which are pretty decent. I really like those. Very easy to use, and they just basically slotted in. We have a slightly shorter scale length, 24.75, so much more of that shorter Les Paul kind of feel. Ebony board, got white binding all the way down the neck and also around the guitar, just to give that highlight and that silhouette on it as well. Really love that. Nice upper fret access on here as well. You may also notice it's only 22 frets. It's one of the few Jackson guitars that in the Pro range that come with 22 frets. Most of them are 24, but I think that having 24 frets on that shorter scale and them up here, they'd just be really awkward. Two active Seymour Duncan blackouts, and then a Tom style bridge. Now I don't know if you can tell on the video, but see this here? This used to be the selector switch, which really is kind of like a little bit in a position I don't really like. And I found that over time it was just getting in the way. I was hitting it when I'm sort of playing or if I'm doing any tapping stuff. So I got my friend Simon from 81 Guitar Works to move it from here down to here. And with that, it means that when you're playing you can just change it fairly quickly. It did have volume, tone, but who uses tone? And what difference would a tone make really on active pickups is my argument. So got a shot of that, then moved everything down. That does mean that this volume here controls the bridge and this one here for the neck, but that's a much better control layout for me personally. It just works better in my opinion, especially if you're changing between the pickups fairly regularly. Duncan design dual strap locks, and on the back you've got the battery compartment for the active pickups. So yeah, had this a really long time. It served me well. Stunning guitar. Love the purple burst. Got the Ghost reverse shark fin inlays. We just have the outline on them as well. Super sleek, and it sounds amazing. So if we get into some tones first of all, so we'll start with some distorted tones on the bridge just here, and we're going straight from my guitar into a Blackstar HD5. No nose gate or anything in fine, so as you can hear a little bit of a hiss. but these are super hot. And in my gigging rig, I tend to have at least one noise gate on at all times to reduce that. So let's check this out. So this currently, strings wise, has got D'Addario 1164, I think. Just because I find that gives me quite nice string tension, but particularly on a shorter scale length, you sometimes need to consider whether you want to go for a slightly higher gauge than what you would normally do, because with the scale length, otherwise it will cause issues potentially with strings being a little bit too loose, because being a shorter scale length, there's less tension on the strings, so you need to offset that somehow. But it's always worth just kind of experimenting with a couple of different things and seeing how you feel on different strings. If you like that kind of slinkier, sort of looser feel, that's absolutely fine. Some people like their guitars to be really tense, so you can dig in a little bit more. Just depends on your playing style, really. So you're just going to go to the middle pickups now. Again, distorted tones. Finally, neck. Again, not really a lead play, but you get the idea for the tones on there, going from the neck to both to the bridge. Let's quickly play something that's actually a written solo. So Let's do some clean tones now. So yeah, because like on all guitars, much more trebly on here. Hypothetically, if you had passive pickups in here, you could roll the tone down to get a little bit of a warmer edge, but I prefer to do any kind of clean stuff that's on the middle or the neck pickup just here. Of course, being the style of guitar that is, the neck is significantly thinner than a lot of other kind of S-type guitars. And being shorter, you don't have to move as much to do some fairly reasonable stretches on here. Whereas if you try and do those on a longer scale, this guitar is going to be a lot harder. This guitar, though it is a lot smaller, is actually surprisingly heavy. But it's a great workhorse guitar. There's a range of Monarchs available from Jackson. They got a Pro Series signature from Diamond Roads, not dissimilar style, different head style. It's got EMGs. It's also got an Evertune bridge as well, so I'd be quite interested to try that. They did do a baritone. There's a couple of entry levels on there, but if you get a chance to try one, they're pretty good. A bit more of a modern take on the single cut, sort of like the Eclipse from ESP. But what I do like about this is actually the oiled neck. I'm not a fan of gloss necks. Satin are quite nice, but I find that for gloss they're just kind of a little bit sticky, really. So that's what I quite like about this. Yeah, so that has been the Jackson Monarch. As I said, great workhorse guitar. Couple of little tweaks, moving the toggle switch down to here, getting rid of the tone, or if you want to, you could have one volume, one tone, if that's more your thing. I find that's just in a bit more of a comfortable position. I know this is a bit more traditional for the style of guitar, but I find that if I want to change, I have to go up here before playing, whereas if it's down there, I can just sort of knock it around and move it as I need to. Just knock it around as I need to, so I find it's a little bit easier there. And that's really the only gripe that I have with this, is just I don't like toggle selectors up here. They need to be down here somewhere. But other than that, that has been the Monarch. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.